Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today, I'd like to cover snakes with rings or collars around their neck and how we can differentiate between the different species. Now, the first thing I want to say is not every snake that has a ring or a collar is going to be a ringneck snake. I see this happen a lot in snake ID groups on Facebook. As soon as someone posts a photo of a snake with a ring around its neck, like this one right here, it's immediately assumed that it must be a ringneck snake. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not always the case. This little guy right here is a newborn DeKay's brown snake, and they are born with a light collar around their neck. And as the DeKay's brown snake gets larger, the collar will start to slowly fade away, but not in the Florida brown snake, Stereria victa, and we'll see that one next. This juvenile Florida brown snake has a very distinct white collar. Here's an adult Florida brown snake with the white collar. Not really a collar, but some white spots. But still, people will say this is a ringneck snake because they see what they perceive to be a white collar on the head. This is an adult Florida brown snake. Now we'll take a look at some of the Tantilla species of snakes. These little guys, there's several species in the United States, and they are rear-fanged and venomous. Of course, they're harmless to humans. They can't produce a large quantity of venom, and they have tiny rear fangs. But this is a southeastern crown snake, so it has the black head and neck with a white band going through it. So this is another snake that people often just automatically assume it's a ringneck snake, but it is not a ringneck snake. This is a southeastern crown snake. And here's another species, the Big Bend black-headed snake. Again, it has that similar black-headed neck with a white collar going through. And yet another species, the Florida crown snake, also has that same pattern with the white collar going through the dark head. And here's another one, the Chihuahuan black-headed snake from Arizona. And this one really has that ringneck snake look, but it's not a ringneck snake. So now we'll take a look at the ringneck snake. This is a northern ringneck snake that I photographed in Connecticut, and gray on top. The head is a little bit darker than the body, and it has that yellowish ring on the neck. And that's one feature that I always like to point out is ringneck snakes are always gray, different shades of gray to almost black. And a lot of the other snakes, of course, the brown snakes are brown, reddish brown, tan. But the ringneck snake is always gray. And here's a regal ringneck snake from California. And again, gray with the yellowish orange ring around the neck. And ringneck snakes are known for exposing their belly. And they usually have these nice colors, orange and red. And they will show that belly to predators. And the idea is that color will startle the predator. It may indicate a toxic organism to the predator to avoid being eaten. And here's a close-up of a ringneck skull, and you can see the tiny rear enlarged teeth in the back of the ringneck's mouth under the eye. And here's a nice close-up of a southern ringneck snake. And another one from California, the San Bernardino ringneck. Has kind of a reduced collar and a nice orange-red coloration on this guy right here. But as always, the snake is gray on top. And here's a ringneck from southern New Jersey. This is an area where the two subspecies meet, the northern and the southern. Well, there's gene flow there, which means you'll see characteristics of both subspecies in one snake. So this particular snake has a darker orange reddish ring around its neck that's broken. And here's a nice comparison of another snake that sometimes gets mistaken for a ringneck snake, the red-bellied snake. The snake on top is a red-bellied snake, and you can see it's gray on top, but it has stripes going down the back. It has not really a complete collar, but more of just neck markings. But of course, this can easily be confused for a ringneck snake. The snake on the bottom is actually a ringneck snake. You can see plain gray, no markings, and ringneck snakes will never have these stripes, these spotted striped markings that the red-bellied snake has. And here's a tiny little ringneck snake straight out of the egg. And you can see they look pretty much like the adults. They look exactly like the adults as babies. Northern ringneck snake, gray on top, yellow collar, no markings. And believe it or not, there is even ringneck snakes that have little to no ring around the neck. The ringnecks found in the Florida Keys are such an example. And here's another Keys ringneck with a very reduced collar, but still gray. And you can see that red peeking out from underneath the tail and the yellow on the upper belly. And another Keys ringneck with pretty much no collar, just a hint of light coloration. And before I leave you today, we'll talk about one more snake that may be mistaken for a ringneck snake. The rough earth snake is born with a light collar, as you can see in these photos here. Now, sometimes even the adults will have the light collar or a very faint, pale collar. But regardless, that's enough to have these snakes mistaken for a ringneck snake. And here's another photo of a rough earth snake with that pale collar on the head. So I hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and hop on over to Facebook and Wild Snakes Education and Discussion and join us. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Have a great one.